Most parts of trimming roses or cutting back roses in the summer or the winter are fairly understandable and not very intimidating. Take out twiggy growth, take out dead growth. Well, it's dead. That makes sense. I can handle that. Bring it to a shrub shape it up a little bit. But then you're going to go along further in your rose career and you're going to see this phrase: take out an old cane to the ground. That sounds scary. And I understand why, because you're thinking it's taken so long to grow it. Am I going to kill the plant if I do that? You won't. It's actually one of the best things that you could do for your roses every now and then. Now, I was working some summer cleanup here in my garden. It's mid-July here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I came across this climbing souvenir de la Malmaison that I've got. And it's showing you exactly why I want to take out an old cane. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and explain what I'm going to do and why it's going to help my roses. This is the cane in question right here. Take a look. See how barky that is? And if you even go further up, it's even more bark. And there's just some dead growth coming out of it, some pieces that I've cut. Follow it back down here. Take a look at this. That is brand new growth. I've also got growth here, here, and I've even got it over here. In fact, I've even got some over here. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over here there's one more, 6 new canes rejuvenating from this rose. Now, if I leave this old cane in there, it's going to send energy up to here, and while these will grow, they won't grow with as much vigor because the energy of the plant is being split. This cane is also barked over, so I'm actually going to cut it right there, just a little bit above that eye right there, and that's going to direct all that new energy into this entire new growth that you see all around it. That's why removing an old cane is a good idea, because then you replace it with fresh growth, which flowers better and is healthier. I've taken you back further because I want you to see just how much of this rose is going to come out when I do this. This is the old cane here. This is the new growth that's coming out. You're on the other side of the rose now. And this is the new growth. This is the cane that I'm going to take out. I'm going to use my loppers. I'm going to start right here on top. It's going to be easier here and almost do this in pieces. So I'm literally going to take that, very careful not to disturb those new basils. There you can see what I just took out of this rose. That is a big piece of this plant. But this old cane here, it's bloomed out. There's little side shoots coming. I've got 2 fairly fresh pieces here. And actually, I'm going to take those over to the nursery and propagate them. So if you buy climbing souvenir de la Malmaison from us in the future, this could be your plant right here. But you can see this. This is all old, and it's done, and it's finished. Now this new, fresh growth down here can go ahead and take all the energy from this area of the plant, push that, make that good, hard, clean growth. So that's that. I got one more thing I want to show you. I'm going to bring you back in a little bit closer. This is where I made the cut right here. And I'll go ahead and take a pruning saw and kind of clean all this up a little bit better. Then I will go ahead and seal it. That's a big cut, so it's a good idea to go ahead and seal that up. And that'll help prevent disease and things. And you want to do that even with trees or shrubs or whatever it is you do. I've got 2 more things I want to talk to you about. Okay, I've got an old cane back here as well. This is the same rose. This old cane right here, also wooded, a lot of dead growth. I'll clean the dead growth out, of course. But what you're thinking to yourself is, well, you've taken this old cane out. Why not take that one out at the same time? Too much, too soon. That could be a real jolt for this rose. Plus the fact it's got some foliage up here that can help re-push energy back into here. So I'm going to let this half of the bush settle in first. How long does that take? Could be by this winter, could be by next summer. I don't know. So when this is done, when I feel these canes are hardened off and they're blooming and they're comfortable, then I'll take that other old cane out. Not on a calendar, when the rows tell me I can take it out. And then that'll rejuvenate new growth from this plant, and over the next 2 or 3 years, I'll completely rejuvenate this and make it a fresh plant. In the future, I won't wait so long before I take an old cane out. But my garden, like the cobbler's children's shoes, are the last ones to get taken care of. So I'm not going to take that cane out, and that's why. I'm going to do this over seasons, not all at once. Patience, patience, patience. The second thing is, when can you do this? Now, if you remember from the video Summer Rose Cleanup, I talked about doing this kind of stuff well before fall if you live in a climate where you get freezes. Why? Because this tender young growth that I am now pushing very hard, and I'll probably even push more tender young growth by what I've just done, has to harden off before that freeze comes. This is mid-July. My first freeze is going to be maybe November. I have plenty of time. If you're in the fall and your freeze is coming up fairly quickly, don't do this now. This then becomes a job for the following spring during your pruning when the forsythia bloom. And of course, if you live in a climate that gets no freezes, you can do this pretty much any time you want. So what I'm hoping this has done is taken out some of the fear of what it talks about by removing an old cane. And by doing it myself to one of my own roses, showing you just how much I just took out. And what looks radical is in the end going to really benefit this plant.